Hey, good morning, everybody. It's great to be with you. Phil Friedman here with another morning briefing from Friedman Adventures. Great to be with you all. Grab a cup of coffee, and I'll get you caught up on all the very latest. We've got those big bluefin tuna that are moving into the Ensenada, San Diego area, and they are big. You're going to need to tackle up for them. We have some weather on the horizon that you need to be aware of. It's been a windy spring, hasn't it? And that sounds like it's going to continue. And then we'll get you up to date on some of the local islands like behind me, Catalina, Clemente, Santa Barbara, and then ultimately up there in the Channel Islands. It's great to be with you. It's a beautiful morning here shortly after sunrise. It's gorgeous. Makes me want to go surf fishing. Pretty low tide out there, so it would be corvina and maybe halibut at this point, but with the high tide coming, there's been some pretty good surf fishing. I'll get you up to date on that. Just a reminder that May the 15th we'll be at Recreation Park over in beautiful Long Beach, California, right off 7th Street from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. We'll be doing a jig fishing casting workshop, hands-on. We're going to have the guys from the 540 Slingers Club there. There'll be over a dozen instructors for you. Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle in Carson will be there. I'll be there. It should be fun from 8 in the morning until 11, and then the after party will rage on from 11:30 until the late afternoon hours because I go to bed early. But we'll be over there at Scholb's in Long Beach on 4th Street with our friend Chef Jason, who does our cooking segments and does such a great job. That's going to be a lot of fun. You can grab a Dodger dog, or you can have a cold beer or a hot cup of coffee with me and talk fishing all afternoon. And then finally, on the 22nd of May, we'll be out of Ventura sport fishing on the extended full day trip. We leave at 6 a.m., come back at 5 p.m. That'll be with my friend Cody Rogers on the Island Spirit, focusing on white sea bass. If they don't bite, we'll hit the rockfish and try to make sure you go home with a nice sack of fillets. If you need info on any of those trips, just send me a text and I'll send you our charter list. It is 657-227-6459. All right, let's go down south of the border, down there around Ensenada, about 60 miles south, sometimes shorter than that. Private boaters are doing very well. I keep getting a lot of stuff in from our private boaters, and they have flat been doing it to these nice big bluefin tuna. And now is the time that you're going to have to tackle up. We talked about it yesterday, but that day on the San Diego was magnificent. 24 bluefin, 130 to 170 pounders. These guys leave at 6 a.m. and are back in at 6 p.m. That's how remarkable this bite is. They quit fishing, not because the fish quit on them. They had a 6-hour drift over 4 miles, but they quit because of sheer exhaustion. They just got their butts kicked by these bluefin tuna. So all of that means, of course, that you're going to have to tackle up. So the subsequent day, yesterday, what happened on the San Diego? Only 2 bluefin. And that is so typical of BFT and sea bass and some other species. They are just inconsistent at times, and that was definitely the case. 2 bluefin tuna. Grande had 3, but a couple of those fish were up there around 180 pounds. So there are some really big bluefin tuna wandering around. And what does that mean? It means you'd have to diversify your tackle a little bit. You still have to bring some of that lighter stuff just in case fish are finicky or you run into a smaller grade of fish. So be ready with the 30 to 40 pound fluorocarbon. Of course, you know that we love Opsin fluorocarbon. That's the best way to go. Have that ready to go. You also though want to have a 50-pound outfit, 40 to 50, let's call it, because sinker rig fishing right now has been pretty darn effective with 4 to 6 ounce torpedo sinkers. And then you're fishing, of course, the knife jigs and the Dawasacanas and those type of things. With that, you're going to fish those 80 to 120 gram lures and be ready to switch it up. We were recommending only the smaller lures at one point in time, but now we are also recommending that you bring some heavier tackle because we are seeing these giant bluefin tuna. This is the year when many people have predicted a 400-pound bluefin will be caught. And the way things are going, and as long as this season's going to go, probably into November, December again, maybe beyond that, I'm starting to believe that myself. You also need that 60 to 80 pound rig. I would like you to air over there toward the 82 speed reels for sure to fish those 180 to 250 gram lures. Man, that is going to make a huge difference to your success, being properly tackled up, setting your drag before you go. We'll have an instructional video on exactly how to do that for you novice anglers, or even some of you guys who've been fishing for a while. Many times you just, pull the drag, pull the line. Okay, that seems about right. I mean, I've been doing that for many years, but there is a more sophisticated, precise way of doing it. And Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle will be here later today to explain how to set your drag. So important. And also, in terms of switching jigs, going from a lighter knife jig to a heavier jig, you can facilitate all that by watching this great presentation by Sam. Also, I think it would definitely be worth your while. It's going to be breezy down there off Ensenada. Not unfishable, but breezy until Saturday afternoon. It gets a little nasty. Then it kind of gives you a lull on Sunday morning. Then it gets breezy again on Sunday afternoon. And then Monday and Tuesday are very, very breezy. So we'll see if that puts the fish down or they're able to bite through it. Earlier this year we had some weather, and those fish, when the guys could get out, bit right through it. So we'll see what happens down there with regard to that. Now, those 6 a.m. boats to 6 p.m., as I said, it was not as prolific as the day before, but this is the kind of fishing we're into right now, where it is kind of slow one day and then it rips the next. So be confident, have faith that today is the day when you are going to get them. Nighttime bites for the overnight boats, excuse me, still very, very good for the most part. Condor with great fishing, legend with great fishing. During the daytime, they'll find some yellowtail also at times, not a lot, but there has been some yellows. Once again, during the daytime, it's kind of run and gun type fishing, so it's that exciting, adrenaline-filled type of bite where you see a school or you get a sonar mark and you run up on it and fish it and then move on to the next spot. I love that kind of fishing. Nighttime fishing's been good overall. There's been a few misses, but for the most part, the nighttime bite has also been very, very good. All right, looking at the islands out here like Catalina, let's start there. Pursuit had a decent show on the yellowtail. I had 4 yellows yesterday. Once again, conditions are starting to improve. Unfortunately, come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to go to spit. And those conditions are going to go backwards once again. As I have described to you in the past, springtime is a time where we are transitioning from wintertime into the spring. We get a lot of wind here in Southern California, and we'll get a stretch of really nice weather, and we'll see improving conditions, water temperatures rising, water clarity good, fish starting to bite, and then we'll get a blow. And the blow not only affects the day that it blows, however, it also affects the future days after that, because the water is left colder and dirtier, and many times surface fish don't like to feed in that kind of condition. Over there on the Pursuit, they also had whitefish, a few barracudas, some nice big bonita, rockfish, so they were able to round out the sacks. Looks like they're going to be good until about Sunday, and then by Monday it's going to get pretty darn breezy. I will tell you that. San Clemente Island and elsewhere, well, Tino Valentine, talked to Tino last night, and he is out again today. Had a rough day yesterday, no question about it. Had 8 yellowtail, hooked somewhere around 15. Sea lions were driving him crazy. The sea lions were just obnoxious yesterday. Didn't give anybody a chance to really fish. They did end up with some big bonita. Tried to fish the rockfish, but even that was slow. It's just one of those days. And Tino Valentine on board the Freedom works his tail off every single day. Nobody tries harder. Nobody is as competent. And he just gives you the straight info, which I appreciate very much because I'm able to give it to you. Some other islands, the Pride has been fishing. They had 9 white sea bass early in the morning. They've been catching some big halibut on a fairly regular basis, and nice big yellowtail, like the high 20 pound to almost to 40 pounds on the yellows, like Guadalupe Island size forks. That's really nice fishing. Fishing a dropper loop, reverse dropper loop, sometimes regular dropper loop has been the key. Most of the time they're able to make some squid, or they have some fresh dead along with them. And there has been some really, it kind of reminds me of Guadalupe Island because, you know, the loop is a place where you may not catch the most fish you've ever caught in your life, but you just might catch the biggest fish, biggest yellowtail. And we are certainly seeing that at some of the local islands right now. Along the coast, picking at a few bass, some calico bass and sand bass, not much, just the little pigs, sculpin and rockfish for the most part, and that's from Ensenada all the way up the coast right now. A few barracuda have been taken up and down the coast, but we don't see any evidence that that is ready to break loose. I've had some private boaters about a week ago send me some nice big local gar, but seems like that was a flash in the pan. Of course, the hope is with this La Nina situation this year, the cooler water and the abundance of anchovy, the hope is that the barracuda will move in this year and stay for a while, as opposed to moving in, putting on a good show for a day or two, and then they're gone. That's been the trend in the past few years, so we're hoping that is about to change. Channel Islands, a few white sea bass up there, some decent rock fishing. They have been dealing with horrendous wind for quite some time. It's okay right now, so maybe we'll get a shot in on some nice sea bass up there. Their sea bass bite, when they get good weather, has been really beautiful, and there's been some giant fish up there. I mean, fish in the 60-pound class on the Aloha Spirit and the Endeavor. They're out of Ventura Sport Fishing. They've been doing really great stuff, but they've been cursed by some weather, and by Sunday-ish, even Saturday late, that weather's going to go to spit again up there, and it's going to stay that way through Monday, Tuesday. It looks like. Those are forecasts, so remember, forecasts can change, and we'll keep our eyes on it. Channel Islands, great place to fish, and we are looking forward to our trip up there on board the Island Spirit. If you'd like to jump on with Ventura Sport Fishing, it's 805-676-3474. Say hi to Saul when you give a call up there, and that's staff in the office and the guys on the boat's great customer service, no doubt about it. All right, we got a lot to watch for you, and we will continue to do it. Don't forget, we'll have a tutorial on how to set your drag, exactly how to do it. More cooking videos headed your way so you can cook your catch. And of course, we'll keep you in touch with the very, very latest, and some great podcasts heading your way. Remember, Tuesday night we're on live with our podcast. Last time it was Darren Dohe on rod building and tackle tips, and man, I'll tell you, it was a great show. Darren is an exceptional guest. He really did a great job. And once again, the questions from you, our audience, no better audience in the world than the Friedman Adventures family. For over 2.5 hours, you kept the questions pouring in for Darren, and you put on one heck of a great show. Make sure you subscribe to Friedman Adventures on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and I will continue to watch things for you very, very closely. All right, for Friedman Adventures, Phil Friedman saying, I hope you have a lovely Friday, and we'll be back with lots more content throughout the day.